Giving you a live look at a very hot downtown Indianapolis this morning here at 6 o'clock. Thanks for waking up with us here on Channel 13 on your Tuesday morning, but pretty much traditional, August weather around here, right?
You don't have to be looking for the hot stuff. It's found us, basically, and it's sticking around for a little bit. We talked about a cold front, and yesterday we were saying, oh, that sounds deceiving. We'll just take like anything that we could get front that gives us some relief.
Yeah, any clouds, any storm chances that are not severe would be great.
Right.
Real quick though, this morning, we can't see it with our cameras downtown because of light pollution, but if you're just enough away from the light, you're going to see something really cool as we have planets that are in conjunction this morning.
Yeah.
Jupiter and Venus, the two brightest planets, they're going to be basically as close as they're ever going to appear in the sky over in that eastern horizon before our sun comes up at 6:55. You got less than an hour to check it out.
Oh gosh, if you're able to see it, send us some pictures. That would be really nice. We'll be able to see it.
Love to. Yeah. Especially if you've got one of those real nice cameras. That would really help us out. Love to see that. Hasn't happened since April of 2022 as far as those planets being so close together. Right now we're at 75. Our sky is mostly clear though over the Indianapolis metro. We've dropped to 69 in Muncie, but what everyone is feeling, all of this additional moisture content that's still hanging out in our atmosphere, making it feel even warmer. 70 your current dew point in Indy. We do have a couple 60s on the map, which is good. That's encouraging. But we're going to be right back up there in the low 70s as far as our muggy meter goes today. That's going to make it feel pretty miserable. Pretty similar to what we've been feeling the past couple of days. Now we're headed back to the low 90s today, but we do have that frontal system that's set to move in. That will bring the chance of perhaps a few pop-up storms from west to east across the state today. Not expecting this to be severe, but we could get some gusty winds as well as some brief heavy rainfall that could lead to some localized flooding. Low 90s for highs today. And as far as that rain and storm timeline, we'll keep an eye to the sky, especially over near Terre Haute after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Could get some of those scattered storms that will impact us here in the Indy Metro through the evening drive home. We'll talk more about rain chances for Wednesday as well, but got to get you prepared for the roads out there this morning. It is 6:02 now. And do want to point out a couple good things. First, on the northeast side, this was some overnight construction that crews announced yesterday. They were going to be blocking Benford Boulevard, where that becomes 69 northbound, and between 75th Street and 82nd Street. So that was closed overnight, has allowed to reopen here as we get you into the 6 o'clock hour. So some good news there at 69 I-465. No major issues on the northeast side of town. Now we'll bring it closer to downtown, where we are seeing a little bit of some brake light action approaching the south split from Raymond Street. Again, this is going to be in that construction zone where we've got that new traffic flow pattern approaching the south split. Nothing major just yet. We're keeping an eye on about a 1 to 2 minute delay on 65 on the south side of town, but we'll let you know if that starts to get a little bigger in the delay field.
Thank you, Lindsay. Well, this morning we are working to learn more about what led up to a deadly shooting on Indy's southeast side. Right now, we know one person is dead after police were called to a home for a welfare check.
Yeah, officers were called here to East Raymond and South Keystone. It's where they found that victim dead inside of a home. So we've reached out to IMPD to see if they have any suspects or can share more about the details here.
We'll, of course, pass along any new information as soon as it becomes available. And also this morning, new Indiana Attorney General's office is asking the Indiana Supreme Court to finalize the execution date for Roy Ward.
Todd Rokita is asking that the tentative execution date for October 10th be finalized. Rokita argues that Ward's attorneys have provided no legal reason to deny any execution date and that, quote, all of his complaints are irrelevant.
So Ward is currently on death row for the rape and murder of a 15-year-old girl in 2001. He was sentenced to death in 2007.
We have an update on the 5 teens that were under arrest after a weekend shooting in Carmel. Now prosecutors are weighing whether to charge them as adults. Police say that an adult was shot and taken to the hospital and that a 14-year-old and 4 17-year-olds are now awaiting formal charges. This was Saturday near 126 in Keystone at the Gramercy apartment complex. One man who lives there nearby says he wasn't too far away when the shooting happened. And he tells us that crime is becoming more common in the area and he feels ignored by property management.
This is the email they sent us a couple hours after the shooting happened. They emailed us saying, we want to inform you that an incident at the property happened and one individual was injured, but it doesn't say anything about a shooting or the fact that the injury is a gunshot.
So we followed up with the spokesperson for the complex, who tells us that they'll continue working with Carmel police. Well, we also reached out to Carmel police for information about what may have led up to that shooting and any more details about these young suspects. We've not yet heard an update, but we'll be sure to update the story when we do.
An 18-year-old woman is under arrest accused of stabbing 3 people. This happened in Jennings County around 6 o'clock Sunday night. Sheriff's deputies say they found several people with serious injuries. First responders airlifted 2 of them to trauma centers. The suspect faces 2 preliminary counts of attempted murder. Well, a Muncie woman is under arrest this morning accused of neglecting 21 animals.
Police also say she took part in a dog fighting ring. Police say they found dogs and cats at a home last week after Animal Control received several complaints. Many of those animals were hurt and covered in fleas. Investigators say neighbors reported hearing the animals fighting several times, and police then learned the suspect had previously been arrested for neglect and had animals removed from her care in the past. Well, this morning, we're getting a closer look at the city's massive spending plan that is aimed at keeping you safe and also improving roads. Mayor Hogsett proposal includes a hefty $1.7 billion budget that the city says won't raise your taxes. A lot of people will be happy about that. Matthew Foltz is live this morning to break down where that money is going. Good morning.
Good morning to you both. We know that this proposed budget is actually $56 million more than last year's budget, and Mayor Hogsett says that it was actually came with a challenge due to a lower property tax revenue this year. Now, again, this year we're seeing that public safety will get a bulk of the funding from this budget. We know that it's about $850 million split between 5 different departments. IMPD would see most of that, with around $358 million going towards recruiting and working to prevent gun violence here in our city. Improving roadways is also another big focus as part of the budget. Public Works, they will get around $257 million, and $10 million will go towards expanding initiatives to help the homeless here in our city. But some councilors believe more needs to be done in this budget towards helping the homeless. Take a listen.
Very excited about the money that's been put in for housing. That's a huge priority for the council in many ways, both affordable housing and homeowner repair, because there's probably nothing other than food that's more important than a shelter.
There's some things coming out of DMD I've got questions on. There's things we've got to address with homeless that I've got some concerns on, how we can sustain that long throughout the duration of our city and how we support those folks. So now it's start to get into committee and start really digging into it.
And as you just heard right there, the budget proposal will now go towards several committees over the next several weeks as they work to tweak as they see fit before going back to the final council vote in October. Meanwhile, much more was in this proposed budget. We do have a full breakdown for you right now on our website at WTHR.com. Reporting this morning here in downtown Indy, I'm Matthew Foltz, 13 News.
Thank you, Matthew. Well, also at that council meeting, the push to keep kids off the streets of Indianapolis and out of trouble has passed its final hurdle. Yeah, this ordinance follows a summer marred by gun violence, especially that it involved teens. For ages 15 to 17, curfew is 1 a.m. on weekdays and 11 p.m. on school nights. For kids under 15, it's 11 p.m. every night. In emergencies, the city can move that curfew earlier. We break down the times and the age groups at WTHR.com. Parents do face up to $1,500 in fines if there are repeat violations. And also, Matthew mentioned in talking about the budget, the push to end homelessness in our city. Well, city leaders announced that they would be shutting down a homeless camp in Fountain Square weeks ago. But as of this morning, no official changes have been made. Yeah, in fact, Matthew was out there yesterday. We were kind of waiting on this to happen. Now, 13 News did notice family and friends of some of those unhoused out there helping yesterday pack up their things. Tyler Pack is one of the dozens of people who set up their lives along this road near Virginia Street and I-65. He tells us he is on multiple housing lists that just haven't panned out yet.
leaving him without any good options.
Many people living in the camp say that they are being unfairly lumped together with people causing issues.
The residents shouldn't be kicking out the people that don't make noises, that clean up the trash. They shouldn't be kicking out people that try to keep clean and try to do what's best for the environment as long as we can stay here. And it's just, why would they kick out people that are not even doing nothing and keeping up the environment clean?
City leaders say they will work with service providers and outreach teams to get accommodations for the people needing new places to stay.